One bad night of sleep destroys 40% of your learning ability. You probably already know that sleep is important. You have been told that your whole life. But knowing something and understanding what is actually happening inside your brain when you skip sleep are two very different things. Because when researchers put this to the test inside an MRI scanner, what they found was not a small dip in performance, it was a shutdown. Here is the study. Professor Matthew Walker at the University of California, Berkeley took two groups of healthy adults. One group got a full 8 hours of sleep. The other group was kept awake all night under supervision. No naps, no caffeine. The next day, both groups were placed inside an MRI scanner and asked to learn and memorize a list of new facts. The sleep deprivation group learned 40% less. Not 40% slower. 40% less information made it into memory at all. Walker described it as the difference between acing an exam and failing it miserably. But here's the part that makes that number even more alarming. When the researchers looked at what was happening inside the hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for forming new memories, in the sleep-deprived group, they found almost no learning-related activity whatsoever. It was not that the brain was struggling. It was that the memory formation system had effectively shut down. Walker described it this way. It is as though the inbox of the hippocampus is full, and until you sleep and clear it out, no new information is going to be received. It just bounces. Now here is what most people do not realize about how sleep and learning actually connect. Sleep is not just important after you learn something. It is critical before learning too. The brain needs sleep to prepare its capacity to receive new information. When you skip sleep before a learning session, whether that is studying, a work presentation, a training, a conversation that matters, you are not just tired. You are operating with a functionally impaired memory system, and there is a second problem that compounds this. Sleep is also when your brain consolidates what you already learned. During the deep, slow-wave stages of non-rapid eye movement sleep, your brain replays the experiences and information you encountered during the day and moves them from short-term storage in the hippocampus to long-term storage in the cortex. If you cut that process short, you do not just fail to learn new things the next day. You also fail to retain what you already learned the day before. So what happens when millions of people are chronically sleeping 6 hours or less? Research published in 2025 reviewing the effects of sleep deprivation on cognitive flexibility found that even 5 consecutive nights of restricted sleep, not total deprivation, just reduced sleep, measurably impaired the brain's ability to switch between tasks, filter distractions, and adapt to new information. The effects compounded with each night. There is also a brain cleaning function most people have never heard of. During sleep, the brain activates what is called the glymphatic system, a waste clearance mechanism that flushes out toxic proteins including amyloid beta, the protein associated with Alzheimer's disease. This clearance process is most active during deep slow-wave sleep. A single night of sleep deprivation can increase amyloid levels in the brain by 25 to 30%. That is not a long-term accumulation risk. That is a measurable change from one bad night. So what do you do with all of this? First, treat the night before a learning event as seriously as the learning event itself. If you have something important to absorb the next day, a course, a meeting, a decision, the night before is not optional. Second, protect the second half of your night. Most of the deep sleep spindle activity that drives memory consolidation happens in the final 2 hours of sleep. People who sleep 6 hours instead of 8 are not just losing 2 hours. They are losing a disproportionate amount of the most cognitively valuable sleep. Third, if your sleep quality has been consistently poor, some people look at nutritional support to help bridge the gap while rebuilding better habits. Compounds that support acetylcholine production and neuronal energy have become an area of growing research interest. I have linked one worth looking at in the description, affiliate link. Small commission, no extra cost to you. But the most powerful intervention is the simplest one. Sleep more, protect the second half of your night, and never pull an all-nighter before something that matters. If this was useful, subscribe. Next video, your brain has 5 distinct life stages. Here's what stage you are in right now and what that means for how you think, learn, and make decisions. See you there.